The wait is finally over. Marvel Rivals released last night and I was able to play it on stream. So today I wanted to give you my first impressions of the game to see if you would like to try it out and to see if the game has any longevity for the future. But before we get into that, guys, please make sure to like and subscribe on this video. I'm so close to 200 subscribers here on YouTube and I really want to hit that goal before the end of the year. So if you're liking the content or if you want to see more Marvel Rivals content in the future, make sure to like and subscribe on this video. Now, immediately after booting up the game, I was just awestruck with everything presented. I liked how there was a lot of content on drop, a lot of skins. I think there's about 7 different maps to play on. Each of them feels incredibly unique. There's not a lot of visual overlay between the maps. So if you were to look at Yggdrasil versus Wakanda, you would very clearly tell there's like different lighting, it's different environments, it's different destructibles, it's completely different. I like that a lot. The main thing that really drew me into both Overwatch and Marvel Rivals is the colorful nature of the game. It's not like Call of Duty where it's all just gray and green and black. It's a lot more colorful and a lot more expressive, and I'm glad that the Marvel Rivals team is really delving into the whole comic book aspect of it just to make this game look as cartoony and as energetic as possible. Now, moving on from the maps, I have to say the character selection in this game for the base roster is incredible. I only played around 4 to 5 of the available characters, and I was having a blast with all of them. In the footage here, I'm going to be playing Black Widow in this first part, and then I have a full game of Iron Fist. And unlike a lot of complaints I saw online, these characters don't feel like their quote-unquote Overwatch counterparts. Especially with Black Widow, you'd imagine she would just play like Widowmaker and have the one shot and want to play back, but there's a lot of depth with this character. Her gun, when unscoped, it acts more like a shotgun, so I'd actually compare her more to, I don't know if anyone will get this reference, to the Buccaneer or the pirate guy from Garden Warfare 2, where his gun acts like a sniper if you're scoped in and a shotgun when you're not. She doesn't have a grapple, she has a kick to kick people off her, and then she can also switch to her melee weapons, which do a pretty good amount of damage. So she has a lot more in depth to her other than just being the sniper who wants to sit in the back. And for characters like Iron Fist, who don't really have a direct connection to Overwatch, their kits feel so expressive and energetic. It's just a lot of fun once you get into the groove of how the character works, and I really admire the dev team for making such comprehensive kits that can work together like this. One character that I was having a lot of fun with was Captain America. I really liked how his kit meshed together well, and even though he had a lot of similarities to Brigitte from Overwatch, there were enough differences to make it not feel like a direct ripoff, like having his shield deflect bullets or having the ability to run and into a jump, into a slam into the ground, or having, instead of a whip shot, the shield ricochets between the enemies instead of just coming right back and having the knockback, which I thought they were going to do. I thought they would have it where he throws the shield and then knocks enemies back just to simulate a whip shot like Brig. There are a lot of abilities in Marvel Rivals that look visually similar to things we've seen in Overwatch, but behave and act very differently in game. Like this Venom and Spider-Man web slinging, you would imagine it would work like Wrecking Ball, where you pick a location, put your web there, and you can use that to grapple onto. But it's more like a Widow grapple, where you click the button and it picks a predestined location to where you'd want to sling, and then you can move from there. Another thing I like about Marvel Rivals is that none of the characters really feel useless. I know in Overwatch there are some characters that are more of a situational pick or are only viable in certain comps or on certain maps, but really here every character felt like they were getting value no matter what map they were on, no matter who they were fighting against, no matter who they were teamed up with. There was a lot of cohesiveness in the movesets of each character to make them viable no matter the situation. I'm going to bring up Widowmaker again. She not only has the sniper, but if she gets pushed, she has a melee option, she has a shotgun burst weapon, and she has a get off me tool, which could be used in a variety of situations. A lot of the characters in this game are melee based, so she's going to be getting dove a lot by like Spider-Man, by Venom, by Iron Fist. There's a lot of characters that just want to get in your face and just do those melee punches. So having these abilities to where she's able to counteract and to fend for herself instead of having to rely on a teammate, I'm very welcome to. I know in Overwatch, if you're playing Widowmaker, the enemy team goes Genji, Winston, Tracer, you kind of just have to swap. There's no counterplay. There's no, oh, I have my shotgun, oh, I have my sniper, oh, I have my abilities to get out, oh, I have my abilities to fight back. It's you either hit the headshot or you don't, and you die, and then you have to swap. So I like the fact that the NetEase team is really putting into perspective of sometimes people just want to play a certain character, so they're going to let them play that character and not be forced off because they're getting counter swapped. Going on with that point, it didn't feel like in this game there were a lot of hard counters to certain characters. It really felt like every character was just neutral or slightly good against each other. So in that aspect as well, there's not a lot of going to spawn, oh, the enemy team has an Iron Man, okay, let me go Widowmaker. There's not a lot of that. There's a lot of different ways to deal with characters to where you don't feel like you have to counter swap as well. Now, I was able to play at least 2 characters from every role during my playtest, and although I am a tank kind of person and I was having a lot of fun with characters like Venom and Captain America, a little bit of Magneto, I do have to say the support characters in this lineup are not lacking at all. For example, Jeff the Landshark, he has a lot of potential for his kit. There's a lot of movement you can do. There's a lot of outplaying you can do on the enemy. There's no characters that are like Mercy or like Lifeweaver where you kind of just sit there and you hold left click on your teammate or you hold right click on your teammate and you kind of just watch them play the game. Every character in this game is proactive and is in the fight and is participating. There's no backseat gaming at all. But with that, this game can become very brawly as your entire team is clumped up together, because that is where a lot of value of the supports come from, is having your team grouped up together either for burst AoE heals or for the numerous amount of res abilities where you have to be in a vicinity of each other. There's a lot of brawl potential in this game, which leads to characters like Moon Knight or Iron Man getting a lot of value from their burst damage. Another thing that is really enjoyable about this game is the vast amount of movement options. Not only do some of the characters just straight up fly and can have omnidirectional movement, but a lot of the characters either have double, triple, or quadruple jumps in the case of Iron Fist, or have the ability to run on walls, or they have, I think there's like 5 different characters that have grappling hook abilities. There's just a lot of ways to traverse and to interact with different maps and to find different high grounds and different angles of attack. There's a lot of expression just in the movement alone. Now, my final point before I move on to the negatives is that in the hero gallery, you are able to not only get an in-depth view on all the characters' abilities and how they work and interact with each other, but you're able to see a suggested combo where the game kind of tells you how you want to flow with this character, how you want to approach every fight. There's a lot of care that the developers put into these kits, and they want to express that for the player as much as possible. And I like the transparency from the dev team to just allow the player to know, hey, if you want to play this character, you want to kind of do in this kind of groove. You kind of want to combo your abilities like this to get the maximum value. But with that all being said, let's start to look at the negatives and the downsides of this game. The first thing that I took notice of when I was playing the game is that there are a lot of deployables that need to be destroyed, and there's not a lot of transparency on what those deployables do to the opponents. I remember my first game, I just hopped in on Venom. I think I was on Clintar, and I don't know if it was Doctor Strange or if it was Namor who was putting down these like octopi on the map. I had no idea what they were doing. I just knew that I had to destroy them, right? But there's a lot of things that just need to be shot that aren't the enemy. There's rockets deployables. There's like Groot walls you gotta break. There's just a lot of things that players can throw down to just get passive value that you have to destroy first in every fight, and I find that a little tedious. Secondly, there are a lot of res abilities in this game, not only Adam Warlock's ultimate, but his passive team up with both Gamora and Star-Lord. I know Rocket Raccoon has a soft respawn on one of his deployables, which you have to break, and I'm pretty sure Hela can have the ability to respawn both Loki and Thor if they die in the battlefield if she gets a pick. There's a lot of characters that need to be dealt with immediately because they can just mercy res, mass res their entire team, and again, that is just really tedious to deal with. Along with having these deployables infesting the map and having the ability to just resurrect characters, there's not a lot of visual indication of actual value from the game. Although yes, obviously you can look at the kill feed and see if you get a kill or if someone gets killed, but a lot of these res abilities are instant, and those aren't communicated well to the player. So if I were to go in as Iron Fist, kill a support character, get out, and then I look back, I turn around, look back at the fight, and he's immediately back up, and all I can see is that I've killed him in the kill feed, I dip. How am I supposed to know that he got rezzed? How am I supposed to stop the res from happening other than, oh, before I go attack this guy, let me go make sure I can find the hidden rocket raccoon pylon and make sure they don't get rezzed, you know? Another complaint I have is there's not a lot of team-oriented abilities. I know that they have the team-up attacks, but those are very character-specific. But a lot of characters, a lot of tanks, especially, kind of don't really have the ability to protect their team. It's more of they just want to be in the front. I know, like Captain America, he has the shield, but he can't like give his teammates temporary shields. He can't give them a speed boost. He can't give them anything. He just has to be in front of them, tanking the bullets directly. And I feel like that's a little bit of a missed opportunity from the dev team. I know characters like Magneto have the ability to give himself and a teammate what is essentially a czar bubble, but there's very few. But with that all being said, I do see great potential in this game, but I really hope the developing team adds a lot more ways to interact with your team, like with different speed boosts or with different damage amps, just a way to have a more team-oriented style of gameplay, other than the more run in, get your kill, get out kind of gameplay that is really infesting the servers right now. And I really do recommend that you check out the game. It's free right now on all platforms, so make sure you just have a chance to see what's going on, experience it for yourself, and make your own opinions on it. But that's all I gotta say on the game. Make sure to like and subscribe on this video, guys. I'm really trying to hit that subscriber goal. And also, I will be posting a lot more Marvel Rivals content. So if you're really invested in the game and really want to see a lot more of it, make sure to like and subscribe, because I will be posting damn near daily, because this game has a lot of content in it and I'm very excited for it. So thank you for watching this video and have a good one.